my name is Dan. I'm the CEO of BeAKid, and today I wanted to run you through our registration and payment solution for after school programs, summer camps, parks and recs, and even school districts. So let's start with the back end of things. So whenever you log in into our system, you're going to be automatically taken to the dashboard. The dashboard is really important. This is where you can see what's happening today on the calendar. You can send out quick communications via email or text messaging to all of your customers. You can also see the latest signups, who has registered to any one of your programs, which kid, and who the parents are. You can also see some analytics information and compare it to the previous year. So your receivables, your refunds, your new enrollments, registration by gender in case you're running different programs specific to a particular gender, and an average score because we ask every parent to leave a review of how their registration process went, and we show you those reviews on the timeline so you can actually tell whether your customers are having trouble, whether they're enjoying the new registration system, or sometimes they'll even comment on things that have nothing to do with the registration, but maybe they have found a problem that they would like you to correct. We then have a timeline where you can actually see who registered, how much they paid, whether a welcome message has been sent. If you send out communication to the parents, you can actually see that communication here, and you can see who opened and read that communication. So this gives you a very clear timeline view of everything that is happening. We have a full calendar on which you can see all of the different classes that are happening on a monthly basis. You can also take a look at who is registered for those classes. So for example, gray means you don't have any registrations in those particular classes, but the ones that are in different colors, you will see that they will show you when the class is running and how many students are registered for that class. We also have a full digital check-in, check-out system, which allows you to very easily check in kids when they arrive at the class and check them out in case you need to get a digital record of that process. And so that's easy to track. You could do it in here in the main menu. You can also do it from within each individual class, which will make it easy to only check in the kids from within that class. We have a full member management section, which will allow you to look at who all of your customers are, who their kids are. We can go into the family detail of that particular customer. We can see what they have paid, what potentially you have refunded to them, what other invoices are still pending. So you can see all of that information. You can create new invoices right from within the system here and either take payment if the customer is right in front of you, simply save an invoice, or even request a payment, which will send out a request to the email of that customer. You have parent information, you have kid information, you can edit the student and take a look at information such as their birthday, their grade, groups they belong to, memberships they potentially have, different programs that they're currently enrolled in. You can manage and add different add-ons. You could transfer the kids from one class to the other. You can also take a look at different forms that the family filled out, whether it's been started, completed. You can print them out in the PDF. You can edit them and, for example, complete or change some information, and parents can do so as well. And you can also see that here. You can see that family's check-in, check-out system within that family detail. And so everything is at your hands. You can also add notes to individual parents. So this is something that might be relevant to you if you have issues or reminders that you need to set up for yourself You can add a note to individual parent. You can also add a note to the individual child as well. We have a full digital wait list feature, which will allow you to set it up. Say, for example, a class has openings for only 10 kids. Once that 10 kids limit has been reached, the system will automatically kick in and say the class is sold out, but you can still register for the wait list. And once you have the families on the wait list, you can do and work with them in a number of different ways. You can send them a private invitation and put a time limit on it, say 24 hours. And if they don't register within 24 hours or 48 hours, that invitation expires so that the next child, the next family can have an opportunity to get into that class. Or right from within the system, you can actually enroll them into a class. We have a number of different reports that you can run. The reports can range from financial reports, invoice reports, late payments, payout reports, where you can actually track exactly what went into the payout that landed in your bank account. As a single payment, you could break it down into each individual item that went into that payout. Reconciliation reports, which you can submit to your tax accountants, class rosters, form statuses, group assignments, head counts, and even custom member reports. So for example, if you, during the registration, you create a form that the families have to fill out, and that form, let's say, not only has quick questions and answers, but also requires an upload of a photo, an upload of a doctor's note, you can actually create a custom member report and print out that report for the entire class, and almost be able to staple it and have a whole binder for the entire class with all of the information that the counselors, the teachers might need for that class. Furthermore, everything else you can break down into each individual class, and each individual class can be set up in a number of different ways. So you can have as many sessions within the class as you want. So imagine you have a Math 101, but you have Math 101 that runs on Mondays for 6 through 8-year-olds, and then you have Math 101 that runs for I don't know, 12 to 14-year-olds. So you would have Math 101 class, but then you would have a number of different sessions. You can create promotional pages for these classes. So for example, once you set up a promotional page, you have a link that automatically creates a landing page for that particular class. And so when you open that page, it's available for parents to go to directly. So let's say you have 10 classes and 8 of them are selling really well and 2 of them are not doing so well, and you want to drive parents specifically to those classes. You can take this link, you can take that link and promote it on Facebook, on Google, and then be able to track how many people go there. You also have a number of different global settings, restrictions on how many students are allowed, showing how many seats are left and what that threshold is, and the ability to either enable or not enable the wait list. You can create policies and check off which ones have to be agreed to during the registration, as well as the forms and what the structure for filling out those forms is, maybe per individual registration or just once a year during the registration. Okay. You can also make these classes active and public, which means they're available everywhere, and we'll talk about the widgets and the parent portal in a couple of minutes. Or you can make it active and private, which means nobody will know about this class. It will not show up anywhere unless you have this direct link to that class, to that landing page. So let's say you're opening a summer camp and you really want to allow your previously attended families to have the first dibs on registering for that summer camp. So you can open it and make it active and private for the first week. Send all of your previous customers that link, allow them that week to register, and then switch it to active and public and open it for global registration. In addition to this, each class has its own set of areas that you can manage. So you can manage directly the students from within this class. You can do the check-in, check-out in that class, the timeline, the calendar, the photos, the staff, the wait list. All of that is available for you to really be able to manage it. In addition to that, we have a number of different settings that you can go through and customize specifically for your organization. So we're going to allow it to open. We're going to go into the business settings. You can do multiple locations, staff management, days off. If you're a franchise, you can actually set up and invite other franchisees to join in your global franchise, and you as a franchisor would be able to have incredible analytics to see and manage all of your little franchises that are doing the work. You can create a number of different policies. You can do class configuration. So for example, tuitions, we have a number of different ways that you can organize and manage those tuitions. So you can add registration fees. You can have how those registrations, how those totals show up on the widget on the website, whether it's a single lesson cost or based on the payment plan. Payment options, installments, specific dates per class. Recurring periodic is very popular with summer camps. This is where you set up the final date by which you must have the final payment, and the system will automatically break those payments into equal monthly payments, so you don't care whether the person registers in January when you open the registration, or if they registered in May. As long as you say, I need to have the final date of the payment by June 1st, the system will automatically create it. Custom pay later, in case you take checks or Zelle and things like that, you can set it all up. Add-ons, you can have a number of different add-ons that are available for parents to purchase: early drop-offs, late pickups, t-shirts, bracelets, booklets, whatever it is. Coupons and promotions. Forms. You can create custom forms. If you've ever used Google Forms, this is somewhat similar. You can add as many questions as you want. You can move them around. You can create questions with a number of different answer types, whether it's text, drop downs, radios, checkboxes, file uploads, and even electronic signatures. You can restrict class registrations by ages and grades. We have the ability for you to create badges or memberships. And even in general settings, you're going to be able to do white labeling and branding that will make the parent portal look more in line with your brand by choosing the main color that is reflective of your own website. And then a whole other slew of things: sibling discounts, who pays the credit card fees, and so on and so forth. There's a number of different options to customize for that. You can integrate with our e-payment systems. You can customize facilities. You can see and manage all of your billings that you will be paying to BeAKid and download receipts. We can white label your email, so whenever you are sending communication to your families through our system, it will arrive from your domain email. We can do seasons, as you can see here, 2025-2026 season, which will make it a lot easier for you to simply set up a new season when it's time. Tell it to move all the dates forward based on the new year's dates, and it will copy most of the information, and so setting up a new season will be a snap. And then if you're outside of US and you are, for example, in Canada, you're allowed to charge taxes, I think, for after-school enrichment programs. You can set it up here, and some integrations that we have here. So this is the back end of your system. In addition to that, we also have a full support center where you can file tickets, look at articles, browse, self-help, and we also have an option for you if you're interested to sign up to our more advanced chat support with a live person during the business hours. So all of those things are available. Now, let's quickly take a look at what a parent would see when they go into your website. So here's an example of one of our existing customers. And if you go to their website, you can actually see that we have integratable widgets. Once you set up the class, you can simply customize and integrate that widget into your website. Beautifully designed, easy to read. You can organize it by date or you can organize it by class, depending on what your interests are. So it will show you all of the different programs that you offer, description of those programs, location of those programs, even how long the program runs and how many classes, and a full schedule detail in case, for example, you run into a holiday. In the process of that class running, it'll show you that there is no class on that date. The shopping experience, the registration experience, is what we're all used to. Just add things to cart and check out. So let's say I want to register to this class. So I'm going to add it to cart. I'm also going to add this one. We can see that in this one, there's already only a few spots left. You can also see that no spots left, and there's a join waitlist feature here as well. So, but let's say I want to register to these two classes. I'm going to click checkout, and the system will take me to the parent portal. The parent portal can also be white labeled so that when you look at the URL, the address of the parent portal right up here, it does not mention BeAKid. It says parent.trackside.org, which makes the parent feel like their entire experiences from going to your website all the way through the checkout, through the payment, is with you. So it takes you to the parent portal. You here are able to add a new participant. The system will ask you who you are, so you can either sign up if you're a brand new parent or log in. If you already have an account, you can simply log in. The system will already know who your kids are. So I can say I want to register this kid. And it will show me the total, the credit card processing fees. I can add multiple students at the same time or change, for example, for this class, I want this student. For this class, I want another one, and go through the checkout. And we have a number of different options that you can set up for the payment methods. Anything from credit cards to ACH payments to pay later, Zelle, and things like that. And that's how you would go through the registration process. And then the system will ask you to fill out the forms that are required for the completion of the registration to that class. So this is our system. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it looks like this is something that will work for your organization. If you are interested in exploring this further, simply go to BeAKid.com, click for service providers in the upper right corner, click on register as provider. You can either get started free and set up the backend and kind of play around with it at no charge, or you can scroll further down and explore all of the different options that are available as well. Once you register for free, we will reach out to you. We will help you set this up. The setup can take anywhere from a single day to a few days, depending on the complexity of your program. We don't charge anything extra for the setup. We also provide a free one hour webinar in a week or two after you've started using the system so that you can get used to it, accumulate some questions that you might have, and then get back together with us and ask those questions, get the answers to those questions, and see um, uh, uh, and improve your structure. So, thank you very much. I hope this was easy to understand. Please email us if you have any questions, either at support@beakid.com or simply just click on Get Started Free. There's no harm, and we won't charge you a penny until you are ready to go. Thanks very much and have a wonderful day.